Hi everyone, this is Julie Bean with Beaded, and in this video we're going to make a pair of earrings together. So here is our sample. This is what we're going to be creating. So it's a really pretty, very simple bead woven earring, but it features prominently some beautiful Czech glass beads. And then you've got this band in the middle that we're going to bead weave together. And it features Czech glass beads, Miyuki delicas, and some 2-hole diamond duos. So the diamond duos are right there in the blue. So what you're going to need is you are going to need some delicas. So I have a tube here of size 11.0 and it's a pretty gold color. You're going to need some Czech glass beads. So these are fluted. So you see right here, if we rotate them a little, you can see they've got that pretty fluted design. They are narrow at one end and they bow at the other end. So we're going to really use that shape to our advantage. We've got the diamond duos with the 2 holes in them. And then I have these really pretty little rondelles as well. So those are our main beads. You're also going to be using an earring hook and then a head pin as well. Now for your stringing material, we're going to be using Wildfire 0.006, and I'm doing it in black. I think you could do it in white too, without any problem at all. For your tools, we have a size 10 beading needle, a pair of scissors, we have a pair of wire looping pliers, chain nose pliers, and cutters. So pretty simple, not a huge amount of supplies, not a huge overwhelming number of tools. So kind of your basics, and we're gonna have fun creating this together. I've cleared away some of the tools just to reduce the visual clutter so we can see a little bit better, and I've placed 20 inches of Wildfire onto my needle, but there is no stopper bead, so there's nothing here at the bottom. So what I want to first do is look at the diamond duos themselves. So they have 2 holes, and we can see that on the side. There's one up top, and then there's also one down at the bottom. There's a flat side and a pointed side. So what we want is we want the pointed side facing out. And for each earring, you're gonna be using 3 diamond duos. And it does matter which end you go in. So we're gonna line them up ahead of time just so that they are ready to go for us. And in this case, we're gonna be going through their top holes. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your needle and you're gonna place on 1 seed bead, a rondelle, a seed bead. And now you're gonna go through the top hole in one of your diamond duos. And then you're gonna do another seed bead, another rondelle, another seed bead. Oops, a second one popped on there. Okay, so we've just got that on our needle. You can slide it down, just don't slide it down too far because you don't have anything stopping it from coming off of your thread. Let's see, oops, I already had that seed bead on there. So I'll get that down there too so we see what we have. Now you're gonna go through another top hole, and then you're gonna do a seed bead, a rondelle, a seed bead, another top hole, and slide those down now. So see what you've got on your thread. So you see you've got all 3 of your diamond duos, you've got 3 rondelles, and you've got the seed beads. So what we wanna do is we wanna bring these together to form a loop. And the way we're gonna do that is we're gonna slide these down. So they're about 6-7 inches. You might even give yourself a little bit more because you're gonna need to put a needle on that thread at the end to secure it. So we've got them right there, and we are just going to make a loop and go through it. So basically you're tying a knot with these, and you're gonna bring that together so it forms a round, just like so. And it actually makes a really cool looking component. I was trying to figure out how to use the component as is because I think it's a really neat shape. So you've got that, but it's still quite loose. So what you wanna do is you wanna pull that nice and tight. And then right where those were tied the first time, you want to go ahead and make another little loop, go through it with your needle because you're making a knot. So just go through it again and pull it down and pull. Give it a good tug. And this is what you have now. And actually, I love this component. You'll probably see it in another design. So that is the first step to our bead weaving process. For step 2 of our process, we're needing to jump up to that second hole. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna take your thread and you're literally just gonna go along the edge of your bead and jump up to the second hole. And because your thread just kind of disappears into the bead side, you don't really worry about it. So what you want to do is you want to kind of form this over. You're going to pull these spikes down of the diamond duos, And then we're gonna make a duplicate row of the rondelles and seed beads. So we're gonna pick up another seed bead, another rondelle, and another seed bead. And you're gonna go into the hole that's 1 over for the DiamonDuo. And we're just gonna pull. So now you got 2 rondelles side by side going parallel, and we're just gonna keep doing that. So this is my tail. I'm just gonna tuck it out of the way. So we need to do that on this side too. So we're just gonna do a seed bead, rondelle, seed bead, and go over and through and pull. So here we go, and we just keep doing that. So we're gonna do that one more time and we'll complete our round. So I have the tail right here, which is the one I'm gonna need to add my thread to later, but because I see that's kind of coming through the center, I don't want that necessarily. So I'm just gonna stick it through right now and pull it out to the side. So now this is out here. It's gonna be easier to tie off later. Okay, so we just have one more set to do. So seed bead, rondelle, seed bead, and then just go through that same hole you went through when you started. So you're coming out of it again. Okay, and then let me show you what we have. So we have this nice little round, almost like a beaded bead at this point. It's like a round focal, like a beaded bead, and you see that it's got that somewhat hollow core, which is what we're gonna put our Czech glass beads through, but it looks really pretty on all sides. So that is how you do the main bead weaving portion of this, and then I'm gonna show you how to tie it off as well. To tie it off, it's simple. It's pretty much like any other tie off. You just wanna make sure it's nice and tight in here. So you wanna pull on your thread a little bit so that it's tight. And then what I'm going to do is I'm gonna go through a couple more beads, pull it again, and then just at any good spot, I'm just gonna tuck under my thread bridge, pull, create a little loop, go through that little loop with my needle and tie a knot. And then I'm just gonna go through another bead, or a couple beads, I should say, and that ties my knot. It pulls my knot into the beadwork. And then I'm just gonna do another knot right here. If you want, you could double it. And then go through again. And you can do that a couple times if you like, and then just always hide your thread. And then when you're happy with what you've got with your knots, like I think 2 is good enough for this, you just take your scissor and you trim your tail. And then what you'll do is you'll just go back and put your needle onto this thread and do the exact same thing on the other side to secure that side as well before adding your pretty fluted beads and completing your earring. Okay. To finish the earring, we've got our nice little beaded bead. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take a head pin. Now these are 2-inch head pins. We're going to take one of our pretty fluted beads and put it on the head pin and slide it down. Then you're going to take your piece that you just made and you're gonna go through the center of it. And what I'm calling the center is right here between these rondelles, and you're gonna go all the way through to the other center. And then you're gonna take another pretty fluted bead and you're gonna go and put it going in this direction. Now, you can push it down so that the beaded piece becomes like a nice center to the Czech glass beads. So I'm pushing the tapered part of the Czech glass beads into the center of the beaded part so that it creates a really, really pretty finished cohesive look. Okay, so now all we have to do to finish this off is to create a wrapped wire loop up top. So I'm going to grab my wire looping pliers like so, and then I'm just gonna squeeze them, push it down, and pull over. And then what I wanna do is I wanna take my chain nose pliers, oops, hit the camera, sorry guys. Okay, I wanna take my chain nose pliers and hold that loop, and then just with my fingers, do a little light wrapping. Now, if you'd like to, you can grab another pair of chain nose pliers. I always have a second one handy to make the wrapping a little bit easier, because it could be hard to grab that tip of that wire. But you just need a nice, gentle little wrap in there. And that just makes it really nice and secure for the sandwich effect of this. Okay, once you've done that, you're gonna take your cutters And you're just gonna go in there and trim your tail. And then you're gonna tuck your tail. So tucking your tail just means squishing that little piece of wire in there so it doesn't snag on you. Okay, almost done, yay. So I have a really pretty earring hook, oops, that you see on this one that's already done. And it has a little loop at its base. So what we're gonna do for that is we're gonna open the loop at the base the same way you would open a jump ring. Just twist it, you see that? And then we're just going to slip our earring onto it and then close it on up. And we are done. We made our matched pair of pretty little bead woven Czech glass earrings. So you can see what those look like. And they're actually quite sparkly in the sunlight. I'm working against a window here and the light really catches them. So that is how we make this pretty pair of Czech glass bead woven earrings. Thanks for watching, everyone. And of course, you can get all the supplies for these and more at beadaholique.com.